Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and as of today, Phase 6 is available on all platforms. Now, with that being said, we're going to be going through all of the specifics that you need to know about Phase 6 in this video, including everything from what's new, what's free, what's paid, and all of the different bug fixes that you can look forward to once you jump into the game. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys some of my personal recommendations as far as having played the Phase 6 campaign maps ahead of time on the public test server before you jump into them on the live game. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now first, let's begin with some of the recommendations that I have for you guys before you jump into the Lowland, which is the very first map that you'll start off with in Phase 6, which is in Maine. Now, first things first, I recommend bringing at least a couple of retained trucks, especially trucks that are very multi-purpose. The reason for this is because in the first main map, you'll actually have to reconstruct the garage, you'll have to reconstruct the truck shop, you'll have to clean out the garage, you'll have to reconstruct the trailer store. You'll essentially have to build everything from scratch before you have a base of operations. Now, initially, I wasn't too sure about this gameplay mechanic because I was like, is it going to make things weird? Is it going to make things odd when you start off? Is it going to be frustrating? And actually, it's a really interesting dynamic that once you get everything built, you actually feel a lot more connected and immersed into the environment itself. At least that's the way I felt that it worked. Now, the vehicle that you're seeing on screen right now, the ANK MK38 Civilian, is actually available for all players as part of the update, and it is essentially the customizable version of the original ANK MK38, which you really couldn't put any frame add-ons onto or anything like that. Now, as we load into the Lowland for the first time, one of the cool things is that you can actually see literally the exact same MK38 Civilian that we just built, down to the add-ons and all, right there on the loading screen itself. It's really, really cool. Now, another recommendation that I have for you guys that are loading into Maine for the very first time, don't feel bad about using mod trucks on this map. It's not that it's insanely difficult, it's not Imandra difficult, but it is a fairly challenging environment. Now, you can go either way with that. Obviously, you can use dedicatedly vanilla trucks, you can use, like a bunch of mod trucks if you would like, or you can do what a lot of people like to do, and you can have one save that is dedicatedly vanilla trucks, and you can have another save that is open to the potential of using mod trucks. Now, let's start going through some of the confirmed information from the developers. Now, general additions-wise, we have the Season 6 DLC with new maps for the main region, the Lowland and Yellow Rock National Forest. Now, it is worth noting as well that those of you that have the latest Season Pass will get these maps automatically. However, if you do not have the latest Season Pass, you can purchase these maps separately for about $7 US. Now, jumping back into some of the latest additions, we're going to move on to the new trucks that are DLC. Like, for example, the Aramatsu Forester, which is basically a forestry vehicle, a forwarder, and the Taiga 6455B, which is actually a really tough, really well-equipped, heavy-duty truck that is always at home in any kind of backwoods terrain, essentially. You also have 10 new stickers in the customization. You have new scout trailers, which really the new scout trailers are interesting because they involve kind of a new scout flatbed. There's also, I believe, a new scout fuel trailer as well. And although I don't necessarily use scout trailers very often, it's interesting to see the developers adding additional scout trailers into the game. Now, moving on to something that I think a lot of you guys are going to be very excited about, the medium logging add-on is now available for a lot of new trucks, including the Azov 5319, the Azov 73210. I don't know why I said that in an odd way, but the Cat CT680, the Cat CT681, the Freightliner 114SD, the GMC MH9500, the International HX520, the International Paystar 5070, the Pacific P12W, the Pacific P512, the Paystar 5600 Twin Steer, the Royal BM17, the Step 310E, the Voron AE 4380, and the Voron 53233, the Western Star 49X, and the white Western Star 4964. That is a lot of trucks to have the medium logging add-on now available for. Now, if you're into logging and you find yourself having to haul a lot of medium logs all the time, that's going to be a huge deal for you because a ton of new vanilla trucks now have access to the medium logging add-on, and I'm sure that that is going to be something that really most players are only going to be happy about. Also, if you go into the customization, or I should say the paint jobs, there are new skins now available for the Tega 6436, the Kolob 74760, the Ford F750, and the Azov 64131. Now, again, the ANK MK38 Civilian is now available for all players, and also, let's talk about photo mode. Now, photo mode is one of my favorite additions in this entire phase of DLC, and photo mode is available for all players, so that's huge. You don't have to have, any of the season passes. You don't have to buy the DLC to get photo mode. Photo mode is just part of the update itself. Now, whether you're having whether you're hauling a giant trailer with a bunch of cargo on it and you want to get a picture of that, or if, let's say, you're out on your favorite modded map and you're in one of your favorite, crawler vehicles, like maybe your favorite Jeep or your favorite off-roader, and you want to get a really good picture of maybe, it flexing out on some rocks or something like that, you can get that as well in photo mode. However, there is something I do want to note about photo mode on consoles, and that is that if you are on PlayStation or Xbox, you'll have to take the screenshot with your share button, essentially. So the built-in console capture button is how you're going to capture your photos or your screenshots. Now, on PC, they're supposed to save to a dedicated folder, but on console, they don't necessarily have a dedicated folder to save to, or at least not one that is built in. So once again, you'll have to use your specific console's built-in photo sharing functionality to capture and then share your screenshots that you get in photo mode. Small detail there, but I did want to make sure that you guys knew that. Moving forward from that, there are some really interesting add-ons that have been added to some previously released vehicles that I think you guys are going to find really interesting. Like, for example, we now have upgradable winches for the Cat 770G, a fine-tuned gearbox for the Freightliner M916A1, an active suspension for the Dan 96320, a high suspension for the International Transtar 4070A to fit larger wheels, a new engine for the Dairy Longhorn 4520. They also added a special notification if a player's truck is located inside a building zone when they are trying to complete an objective tied to that building. Compatible special add-ons, evacuator, seismic vibrator, etc. are now displayed for each truck in the truck store, which is a really cool addition. They've also added a switch between normal and hard mode in the custom scenarios menu, which is something we saw on PTS. They also added an in-game browser of available DLCs and content library. They also, Diesel Addict and I actually ran into this in multiplayer, and we were like, is that a new feature that they were testing? And it turns out that we actually saw this feature on the PTS before it made it to the full game, but it was the fact that non-purchased DLC trucks and regions are now available for preview in the game. So even if you haven't bought a certain vehicle or a certain map area, you'll actually still be able to see it in-game and preview what it might look like. Now, moving on into co-op bug fixes, they fixed a bug where unpacked cargo could fly away or get stuck in truck carriage body after entering into it in the created co-op session. A little bit of an odd bug there, but if any of you have experienced that, let me know in the comments down below if that is a helpful fix for you. Moving on now to logging-related improvements, of which there are actually a few. They said they fixed a bug where logs could be loaded into the log carrier add-on of the Cat 745C using the auto-loading function on top of already loaded unpacked logs in the add-on. They also fixed a bug where long logs could be outside of the log carrier rear trailer after transitioning through a gateway if the trailer was placed at an angle to the truck before the transition. Now, I haven't experienced that firsthand, but I've seen it happen, so it's nice to know that that's fixed. They also fixed a bug where the camera was twitching near the log trailer. Interesting one on that one. Now, trucks-wise, they fixed unnatural twitching of suspension for the Western Star 49X and Cat CT 681, fixed a bug where the jerry cans of the trunk repair supplies add-on equipped on the Tatra Force T815-7 did not disappear when they became empty. They also fixed a bug where the decal on top of the cab of the Royal BM17 appeared to be mirrored, improved interior glass texture for the Tatra Force T815-7, added additional winch attachment points for the Jeep Renegade, that's kind of a cool one, fixed a bug where the sun visor upgrade for the Azov 5319 did not match the truck color when the Burning Bright vinyl wrap was equipped, fixed a bug where the Dreamcatcher accessory clipped into the dashboard while driving on the Jeep CJ7 Renegade, fixed a bug where some accessories of the CJ7 Renegade truck overlapped the stickers of the slot 2 in the customized menu, and finally they tweaked the weight setup for the ANK MK38. Maybe it finally won't be quite as tippy anymore. Wheels-wise, they fixed a bug where players were unable to restore wheel presets to default, which is nice to know that they fixed that. And then we move on to mods and modding-related fixes. Now, I'm going to try and get through these as smoothly as I can because there are actually quite a few of them. Beginning with, they added a hard reset button on the mod browser that allows removing all mod content at once, added an option for the mod creators to reload the modded truck directly in the garage. Map creators are now able to customize fuel prices and repair zones to be used in hard mode, and the setup of the long logs in the game was updated. There's also the policy on using parts of DLC trucks was added, see 16.1 in the integration of trucks and add-ons guide. The workaround for the known issue of the default add-on attribute, its usage with existing game add-ons was described. See 8.8.5 in the integration of trucks and add-ons guide. Pairs of buttons that can be used for controlled constraints are now customizable. See 17.1.3. Full process of adding custom employers was described. See 5.16.4. And finally, list of add-ons was updated. See add-ons list.xlsx. Now, before the video ends, I do want to quickly revisit the gameplay that you guys just saw from driving through this town at night, and I really want you guys to, even if you are not a fan of playing the game at night, I encourage you to just, have some, chill drives around this area at night, because with all the neon signs, it's absolutely beautiful. But that's going to do it for this video, guys, and if you enjoyed it, please do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later, and good luck out there in Phase 6.